All right, so today we're going to be talking all about CTAP. So those of you who are not already familiar with CTAP, that stands for the Child Welfare Training and Advancement Program here at the University of Washington. My name is Sarah Dawson, and I am part of the UW School of Social Work admissions team here. We are also joined here by Jen, who is also our Director of Admissions, if you want to say hi. And then we also have our CTAP team here as well, if they'd like to say hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jen McClellan. I use she, her pronouns, and I'll be looking forward to chatting with you all briefly tonight. We actually have the wonderful opportunity of the Associate Director of the CTAP program joining us tonight, last minute. So thanks for being here. Laura, do you want to say hello?
Good evening, everyone. Glad to see you all. Thank you for your interest.
And then why don't we just start at the top? Shanti, you want to go first, and then we'll go around.
Great, thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Shanti Johnson. Maybe you received an email from me or we've talked on Zoom. I'm very excited for your interest here with CTAP tonight. And please remember to ask questions when we get there, because if you have the question, someone else has the question too. So welcome and thank you for being here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sharice Hayes. I'm also a field advisor here at the CTAP program. We don't have Trisha with us tonight, but she is one of our other field advisors. There's three of us. And then we have program manager here who's going to introduce herself.
Hello, good evening. My name is Jennifer Grant. I'm part of the CTAP admin team, and I'm a part of the staff as well. And welcome, everyone.
All right. And again, everyone, if you have any questions now or during the presentation, please go ahead and put them in the chat of the Zoom, or please wait until the end and we can answer those then. All right, moving forward, before we get started, we want to go ahead and present our land acknowledgement. So the University of Washington and all of our institutions exist on Indigenous land. Today, we are grateful for the space to be with you on the traditional territory of the Duwamish, Suquamish, Muckleshoot, and Stillaguamish people. We acknowledge the past, present, and future Coast Salish peoples of this land and recognize that this land acknowledgement is one small act in the ongoing process of working to be in good relationship with the land and the people of the land. For those of you who are also interested in learning more, the UW actually offers a UW Indigenous walking tour. And if you ever decide to actually come and visit the campus in person, if you register for a general campus tour, the first stop on that tour is actually the Intellectual House located on the north side of our campus. Just a few little points to highlight about the UW School of Social Work as well as our CTAP program. Aside from being a top-ranked program, we are very proud that a lot of our students are students of color. They are also first-generation students. We also love to point to our relatively small class size, averaging around 18 to 25 students. And as you can see here, many of our students report being very satisfied with our program, and we are very thankful that a lot of former or previous DCYF employees also serve as teachers in our program.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. So we're just going to briefly cruise through some highlights about program options. We are really encouraging folks to attend a regular information session or check out one of our recordings. We have a YouTube playlist. Everything can be found from our website. So we definitely encourage you to do that. We go into much deeper detail about the program and application. But today's focus is really around CTAP. So we're going to just talk a little bit about the program options and how that works for folks who are interested in CTAP in particular. So we do have the full-time program, and the traditional two-year program of study is essentially 3 academic quarters, summers off. For 2 years. And for those folks who may already have a BASW or BSW degree, there is an advanced standing program, which is full-time. And that is also a 4-quarter plan. So you would attend starting in summer and finish out in the spring with the rest of the full-time students. Our part-time program has a couple of options, which I'll talk about in a second. But it's specifically designed to be a 3-year program, although many folks who are employed by the state can finish in 9 quarters. That's kind of the minimum, but that is a possible plan of study for some folks. It has to be something that's worked out with your field instructor and your site, but that is an option. But most folks finish in 11 quarters. So there's just some information there in particular about, sort of if you chose the part-time program, which is really one of the most friendly options for those folks that are working full-time in particular, or more full-time in particular. So that is often a choice that CTAP folks want to choose. The other big distinction between folks who are in CTAP and other options, you have to choose a clinical specialization or direct practice specialization. So that is the focus of this particular program of study. So next slide. So we have 2 different options, and as many people probably have heard, we just launched our application for an online option. Traditionally, we have had an evening on-campus option, and the class structure is very much the same that's described on the screen, but one is going to be offered online and the other is going to be offered on the Seattle campus. Both of these programs really are designed for working adults, but in particular, the online program offers a lot more flexibility for those to be able to stay in the community that they're currently in across the state. The focus is really on Washington State in particular, and really looking at providing access to more folks who are in rural or underserved regions. You must be able to complete your practicum placement in Washington State. That is a requirement of the online program. Otherwise, you'll see here, typical class time is in the evenings. Usually it's 2 classes per quarter. Again, refer to our website or attend another session to get a little bit more depth around what to expect. But these are generally weekday evening times, and the virtual option happens online. Okay, so these are some really common questions folks will ask, and we do encourage you to ask questions along the way or save them till the end. But these are pretty oftenly asked at these sessions or in advising. So many people ask if you're able to work. The short answer is yes. The more detailed answer is it depends. It depends a lot on the program option that you choose, and it also depends on your your employer, and what they're willing to do in terms of flexibility. So many full-time students do have part-time jobs, usually jobs that are flexible to be able to take classes or to have working hours on the weekends or in the evenings. But it is really hard when you have classes and practicum throughout the weekdays, Monday through Friday, to be able to fit in more than that. However, part-time students, and again, that's either the evening on-campus option or the online option, can maintain full-time work pretty much through the first year. But then given the fact that you're going to start a practicum that is usually during the weekday, folks tend to reduce their time in their employment just to be able to accommodate the extra practicum hours out in the field. So that's something just to consider in terms of what might work best for you. And again, this highlights sort of class time. Can you imagine yourself in classes at 6 p.m. to almost 9 o'clock? Is that a good fit for you? Does it feel like a good fit to be online versus in learning in person in a classroom with other folks? So just another question to ask yourself in terms of what you're looking for and what would be a good fit. And as I mentioned, an important part is that you have to do clinical for CTAP in particular. So do you want to pursue that? Do you want to do direct practice with individuals, families, and small groups? And if your answer is yes, then this is a great fit for you.
And here's just a quick little snapshot of our cohort profile for that part-time program. Like I mentioned, many of our students are first-generation students and are students of color, which is something that we're very proud of. Like Jen mentioned, a lot of times our part-time students are maintaining work. Maybe they have to decrease that a little bit during the latter half of that program as they're completing those practicum hours. But again, if you have any questions, please do reach out to us in admissions, and we're happy to answer those. And before we go ahead and hand things over to our CTAP team, we'll go ahead and also briefly go over the actual application itself. So for the MSW program, in terms of basic eligibility requirements that are set forth by the graduate school, in order to be eligible for the program, you do have to already have a four-year bachelor's degree and have earned at least a 3.0 cumulative GPA. For those of you who perhaps have earned your bachelor's degree but did not earn a 3.0, it is still possible to apply, and we do have some additional guidance on our website, and you're more than welcome to reach out to us as well, so we can talk about how you can strengthen other parts of the application. Within the application itself, it will also ask whether or not you are a native speaker of English. For those of you who select no, you will be prompted to go ahead and submit something to go ahead and satisfy that requirement. So you could, for example, submit a TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo English test score. However, there are a few other ways to satisfy that requirement, which you can read about on the graduate school website. In terms of the actual application itself, it is all a completely online application. You just make one through the graduate school. Some things that I wanted to highlight here is that the graduate school does offer application fee waivers. You can go onto their website, learn about whether or not you'd be eligible. For those of you who are not eligible for that graduate school fee waiver, however, you may still be eligible for our own departmental school fee waiver. So please, if you are not eligible for that, reach out to us, or you can read more about it on our website. Within the application portal, you can go ahead and upload a copy of any unofficial transcript from every college or university that you've attended and earned academic credit from. And then within the actual application, you will also list any kind of social work, human service experience that you have. You'll answer some short answer critical reflection questions. You will also be able to provide your 2 to 3 page personal statement talking about your interest in pursuing that MSW here at the University of Washington. You will go ahead and provide your resume, and then we do ask that you please provide 3 references. Within the application, you will list your references, their contact information, and then within the application is a little button for you to actually notify or contact the recommenders. Those recommenders will essentially receive an email, and they'll fill out some questions there and then submit it to us directly. Again, if you have any questions, please do reach out to us. And we actually have a MSW application page, which includes all of the application components, additional handouts, and worksheets that can help you as you complete the application. All right, and that is just the application in a nutshell. I will go ahead and hand things over to Charisse from the CTAP program.
Thank you, Sarah. CTAP, excuse me. CTAP provides a dedicated field team to help you with your academic and field practicum. And this is a snapshot of our team. We have our director, Geraldine Myers, who couldn't be here today, but we do have Laura Thomason, who is our associate director who's here, and myself and Shanti Johnson, who are 2 of 3 field advisors. In addition, we have 5 field instructors who are housed in each field office of DCYF. We come together to help you all with your academic, which mostly your practicum experience, but we're also there for your academic experience as well. Next. What is the Child Welfare Training and Advancement Program? We're a federally funded program that's a partnership between the Department of DCYF, Department of Children, Youth, and Families, and the School of Social Work to help bring you an immersive experience in the field of child welfare. We're student-centered. We are passionate about the work in child welfare, and we want students who are also passionate about the work in child welfare. Next. I've already introduced you to our dedicated team. We provide financial assistance in exchange for employment with the Department of Children, Youth, and Families. So for example, if you come through our program at the beginning, excuse me, at the beginning of your academic career, in return, you provide employment to DCYF for that same amount of time. So equal to 12 months or however many months you're in the program. is distinction. We talked about in-state and not in-state. We only provide assistance for in-state tuition. So if you're coming from a different state and you have a higher tuition because you're out-of-state tuition, we provide the in-state tuition and you cover the out-of-state portion of that tuition. Go back one. We provide a specialized practicum. So your practicum will be in the Department of Children, Youth, and Families. That's where you will do your generalist practicum. That's also where you're going to do your specialist practicum. And that's where that collaboration comes in. And with our program itself enhances your skills in the delivery of services to the children and families that you provide service to within the Department of Children, Youth, and Families. So if you've already worked for DCYF, the experience that you receive through CTAP and the MSW program is going to just enhance what you do in the community, in the field with the clients that you work with. How do we support you? Again, we have that student-centered individual learning plans for your practicum based upon your goals. So we like to say that you actually let us know what you want to do. We put a plan specific for you. What is it that your goal? What we ask the questions: what do you want to get out of your practicum? Where do you want to take this education? Where do you want to take your career? And we make those individual practicum goals for you with your field instructor or your field advisor. Again, we are liaisons between the School of Social Work, Student Services, DCYF, federally recognized tribes, missions program, all of those programs. So that's what CTAP does, as well as us field advisors. We're the gatekeepers of the CSWE competency. So there's 9 competencies that our program is based off of. Our role is to make sure that you can take those competencies and actually inclinate them to your field work and be able to talk about what you're doing in the field and how it relates to a competency and what you learned from it. So if you're in a FTDM, I was in this FTDM. This is what I took from that FTDM. And this is what competency I was using when I was doing this or that while I was in that FTDM. I talked about practicums. You have your generalist practicum, which is 360 hours, 10 credits. And that particular practicum, you're going to build general knowledge and skills and abilities. If you're an employee from DCYF, you're already pretty much coming in with all of those skills and knowledge that you would receive because you've been doing the work. Our goal is to actually give you the words or the modality that you're using that is academic related, so you're able to speak about it from the academic terms. Your specialist practicum, it just kind of deepens your knowledge of what you're doing and including what you're doing in the field in your practice. So if you're not a DCYF employee, we actually have, and Laura can talk a little bit more about this if you want, because she has done this in the past, where she was a student unit. We have students who are not DCYF employees, and they go and join a student unit. And those student units actually have their own field instructors who are CTAP field instructors. And Laura has been one who has done this in the past. And they put together specific seminars and all kinds of creative things for you to do. Do you want to piggyback off of that, Laura?
You're doing well. I'll just
Okay.
enhance the answer. In addition to educational seminars, as Sharice indicated, the field instructors provide clinical supervision. They connect you with social workers. So those who are not employed by DCYF, you gain extensive training in public child welfare and also get you connected with experts in the different fields that all surround families. So the different systems. And I'll turn it back over to you, Sharice.
Thank you. If you are a tribal employee, you must complete your generalist practicum with DCYF. You can complete your specialist practicum in the tribe. we also have our Student Institute. Our Student Institute is usually in the winter every year. All CTAP students are required to present at the Student Institute. It's an opportunity for you to take a subject that you have a desire, that you have knowledge in, or that you want to actually do more research in, and present it to your fellow students. It's not graded. It's just to enhance your actual presentation skills, and it's something that you can put on your resume. Next. Application process must be completed completely in order to receive an interview. So while some people may be able to actually apply without submitting your letter that you was admitted to the School of Social Work, you will not receive an interview until we actually know that you've been, I know I take that back. You will not receive an invite to the actual program, to the Child Welfare Advancement Program, unless we know you have actually been accepted to the program and everything is complete. 2 letters of reference, 2-page essay, answering the question why you're interested in continuing to work in the public child welfare system. A criminal check. We do a family check, which is if you don't know, it's a program within DCYF where we look for background on if you have any history of child abuse or neglect within our system, any investigations, what are the outcomes of that, any of those kind of things. And then an I-90 or identification form that says you're able to work in the States. Yes, next. CTAP timelines. Timeline to apply for the school, or the timeline, the application opens January 15th. Our information sessions are for our full-time program is on January 15th, and our part-time program is on February 26th. You must attend an information session in order for your application to be reviewed. And like I said before, only those who have attended an information session and submitted a full application will get their actual application screened and an interview. Interviews start in March, and we'll start submitting letters into your acceptance into the program beginning April and June. Next. CTAP, so assignment dates. Once people are accepted into the program, we do something called agreement signings. This is where we take you all together. We're going over the agreement, reading it out loud to you to make sure you have an understanding of what is reads, because it is very long. This is a this is a contract between you and the Child Welfare Training and Advancement Program. This contract says, hey, I understand that I'm coming to this program in exchange for working for this program. I'm going to receive some type of financial reimbursement, or not reimbursement, assistance. And I agree to work for the Department of Children, Youth, and Families. And then you have the opportunity to ask questions. And you're going to sign it, and you're going to have a deadline, which you're going to be able to have. You have to have that signed contract back to CTAP in order to be considered an actual CTAP student. Next.
Alrighty, and just a quick reminder again, we're going to go ahead and answer questions in the chat and right after this as well. If you scan this link tree, and again, we'll go ahead and post this recording on our YouTube and share it out afterwards as well. You can learn more about the different programs that we have, as well as how to actually submit the application. If you want to reach out to the CTAP team directly, please go ahead and use that email address at the bottom of the page here. And I will go ahead and finish the recording in a moment so that we can go ahead and answer your questions.